Yeah, yeah. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh,
We thank you for your traveling mercies.
for sure. How y'all doing? Happy Monday.
We good, man. We good. We figured out this jet lag thing.
Have you? Because I haven't. I'm still
Oh,
lagged.
yesterday was one of those days.
Shotty, what's the secret?
Yesterday was one of them days.
Man, you just gotta, stay up and get up early. Just, get back on routine.
Yeah. The 4 a.m. wake up is real.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I woke up 2:30.
I guess we're just gonna be up for the rest of the day, man. What's up, everybody? Hopefully everybody is good. Happy Monday. Fourth quarter is in full effect. Big week ahead. Obviously, we'll talk about the Goliath that we'll be reporting this Wednesday.
Yeah, my baby.
Shout out to Bam. It was his birthday last week. Happy birthday
birthday,
to the
Bam.
brother. We got another McDonald who's having a birthday this week. Legend will be turning 3, so happy birthday to the little guy.
I love it.
I know he is running around driving Mike and Jess crazy, so happy birthday to him. And happy birthday to Mercedes Man. Mercedes Man. Shout out to the EYU fam. It is Mercedes' birthday this week. Happy birthday in advance. Love is love. Yeah, man. We were outside this weekend. Shout out to Stick Watts. Shout out to the Dyken family. Shout out to Drew Bernard. We have had to give back this weekend, actually Friday and Saturday. Always good to give back to the people. And I think we'll be doing something again this weekend, or maybe next week we'll be doing a give back as well. It's the holiday season. Giving back is paramount, and so we're gonna do our part.
Give back and Dykeman legendary. That's my old move.
Different give back. Different give back. Different give back.
Bring La Marina back.
That is a legendary vibe, man. How you feeling though, man?
Amazing. Glad to be back, man. Enjoyed our time in Dubai. So, yeah. God is good, and so are y'all. Oh, and I feel like giving back today. Get your cash apps ready.
Cash. Uh-oh.
Holiday season.
Not yet, tubers.
Yeah, let us get through a little bit of the show.
Please.
And then at least halfway through something, we'll, donations. Give back to the people.
It's been a while, so just bear with us.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but let's do it different this time. People who ask amazing questions will get rewarded.
Okay.
So if you have an amazing question about the market, trading, or investing, you'll get rewarded tonight. Merit-based.
Sure. So we got a lot to get into. I don't know what's going on with the YouTube, but I saw a video, then they deleted the video. Now it's a new video. Title isn't up, so I just sent it to somebody. So hopefully we can get the title up. But in the meantime, earn your leisure. We got an episode at 6:00 Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. The brother Jay Majors. So he's a giant in the world of barber shop entrepreneurship, and really changed the game as far as barbershop, salons, suites, mixing real estate play with the barbers. And then he runs the biggest barber expo in the country. Actually spoke at it. He had one in Connecticut. Over 12,000 people came. And he had one in Las Vegas also.
Wow.
So he's one of these guys that had a troubled background. As a youth, incarcerated, learned to cut hair in jail, actually came out, became a barber, and now is a multi-millionaire from being an entrepreneur from the barbershop game. So that's important to kind of, highlight those stories, because that's something that's relatable for a lot of people in the community to, see like a barbershop. That's something that's like one of the first levels of entrepreneurship that people see. So see somebody scale it to that level is definitely some level of inspiration for sure.
Yeah, I think it's one of them episodes when you finish the episode, you're listening intently while you're doing it, and then you're doing the numbers in your head as the episode's going on. You're like, man, this guy's a genius.
Yes, adding up.
This guy's a genius. I think there's going to be plenty of people who watch this and try to replicate this business model, because it's such a good one. And I wish we would have thought of it. I'm like, damn, this makes too much sense, man. So shout out to him, man. Good brother too. Good brother.
I haven't seen the episode yet, but once the integration of the real estate with the barbering, I'm looking forward to it. It's almost like the McDonald's strategy.
Yeah.
I can't wait to come to the episode.
You know what makes it super dope is that there's obviously the real estate play and there's the skill set of being a barber, but he also teaches. So he teaches people how to actually do the skill. And they're almost like apprentices, and then they come and work in the shop and he gives them guidance and tries to help them become their own entrepreneurs and create their own shops, which is pretty dope. And then, they venture off, but new students always come in. And it's a profession, like we said, it's an essential profession. So yeah, man, great business model, great dude. Definitely check that one out.
And then Wednesday we got Blackout. We back with Blackout. We got a lot to talk about for Blackout. So make sure you tap in.
Blackout. Ray Daniels.
Ray, we need you.
Ray, emergency meeting.
We need you on Blackout.
Meeting. Thank you.
7 whole years. Shout out to Ray Daniels. Thursday, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay.
I got my class this Thursday. Make sure y'all tap into that. It's going to be one of them ones, man. Every time we do this, it's been once a month. It's been spectacular, and I got some stuff I'm cooking up. I gave a little preview to the Stock Club team. We're gonna go into some more depth about that actual company, and we just added a new one to the portfolio that we're gonna be discussing. So make sure y'all tune in, and we're gonna show how to exercise options. All right, I know 99% of the time you don't do it. We will be doing that and walking you through that. So I don't really show numbers, but for this class, I have to. So make sure y'all there this Thursday.
Amazing.
Yes, EY University. Make sure you check it out. Ian, any announcements?
Yeah, Stock Club call would be this Saturday at 5 p.m. Central. Same link as usual. Prices will be out for the month of November this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central. And Red Panda Trading Tournament coming December 8th, 2025. Get your affairs in order. Good luck. Big announcement next week. Get your affairs in order. December 8th, 2025. Grand prize winner, 50 grand.
Whew.
There you have
it.
There you have it. Yeah. So stay tuned next week. Thanksgiving week. We got doing something big for Black Friday, something that's really never been done before. So
shout out to you, Risley, yo.
Try, man. Try to come up with some ideas when we can, and throw it up in the air, see what comes down. So
y'all put some hugging emojis in chat for Shotty. Lift my guy's spirits up.
Look, man, a lot of phone calls. Listen, it's going to be an exciting one. Obviously, every market money is exciting. Next Monday, going to be one of them ones. Trust and believe. Phone calls were made. Confirmations were made. It's going to be a situation. Make sure y'all here.
They're waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning work. For sure.
That's a fact.
Okay. Trading tip of the week.
Hold on, man. We got to do our disclaimer. You know how this works, man. Do your own research. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with, or independently research and verify any information that you find on our show and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. Continue to do the research, share the research. Let's build wealth. Let's build our brokerage accounts. Let's build our communities. Let's build our families.
Let's build. Yep.
Let's build. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that. Let's do that. Yeah.
So, what's the trading tip of the week?
Futures trading tip of the week is to travel where the trade isn't crowded. I've talked about ES, talked about ZB, talked about NASDAQ, but a lot of times those trades can be incredibly crowded. You want to look at some assets that are not super flooded with a bunch of macro fund money, high-level traders. So look at the Swiss franc, look at Bloomberg Commodity Index, look at the Canadian future, look at ZN. I know they're reporting that the bond market is having its best year since 2020. Fake news. The bond market is still leaning to the downside. So while everyone's fighting over the NASDAQ and ES, you want to pick a slow-moving future that a lot of people are not trading, so you can be able to. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. You're able to get an easier win. Someone asked me, "Well, what about liquidity?" Well, you're not trading 3,000 contracts. You're trading between 5 to 50. You shouldn't have liquidity issues in any of them. But while the market is in tumult right now, you may want to look at the currency. So like the Australian dollar, British pound, Canadian dollar, Bloomberg commodity index, and take advantage of those markets while everyone is fighting for spots in ES, ZB, UB, and NASDAQ.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Stay low.
It's like red shirting and you come back, play 8th grade. Easy money. 52, 22, and 12. Look like Wimby. So
You're glitching a little bit. Maybe the Wi-Fi, I'm not sure, but like every like
then I want us to be great. They say I'm glitching a little bit. Yeah.
I could hear, like we could hear you, but every like couple of like 30 seconds or so, it's like you freeze.
It's about to be a cold winter in this market. We'll get to it.
That's a fact.
Peter Thiel, let me connect. Elon, Starlink. I just said Starlink great.
We didn't get there yet. We'll get there. We will get there.
That's a fact. So okay, a lot to talk about. Why is everything overvalued, and why is everything overvalued, and why is everything falling?
Things are falling because they're coming back to the prices where they should be. I'll get into it later, but this is going to be the third year that we had more than 20% return in the market 3 years in a row. Shadi, you brought this up last year, right? The last time that happened was in the .com era. 98, 99, 2000. People are front running the gains because they know a corrective measure will be taken sometime next year in 2028. This is why Sam is trying to clean up his image and his kerfuffle that he had last week with Brad Gerstner, so that IPO exit will be okay. But there's been a lot of overvaluation and overhyped talk about AI because everyone is trying to squeeze in the gains they need in to get them through the next 2 or 3 years for the downturn that we're going to have. So are we overvalued? Yes. We'll talk about Peter Thiel and Nvidia and all that in a second, but the market has run up a lot and is just correcting to where it should be, and people are panicking. And most people are panicking because they bought at levels where they shouldn't be buying. Bitcoin, Nvidia, Oracle, Oscar Health, everything was bought at too high of a price. Palantir as well. And when the front running ends, people begin to take profits. And Rashad, I love when you always say there's nothing wrong with taking profit. But when you see Buffett start to ease into Google for the first time in history, on the exit, Apple and Google are going to be the new bonds. Apple is projected to give 26 to 30% return over the next 5 years. It's 5 to 6% a year. That's the new bond market. It's a haven of safety. The market will ultimately be okay, but some of these valuations are absolutely insane. And I told you to wait for the price.
Yeah. I agree. I think, yes, some of these companies, I see somebody in the chat put Palantir in terms of valuations, are just, I mean, it has run to a place where it almost feels uncomfortable. I think the issue is that earnings has kept pace with this type of growth. And at some point that has to decelerate, right? Like we'll talk about this more in the show when as we looking forward to Wednesday. Like when the market is priced to perfection, right? Perfection won't be good enough, right? So even, there's Goliath that's going to report and how it can shift the market.
Yep.
If it does well and has future guys, it still might not be enough.
It may not be enough.
It still might not be enough. And that they will be dominant, and the companies that are around it, the Metas of the world, and I know everybody's like, what about Meta? The Metas will be fine. Microsoft will be fine. Apple will be fine. But there will be some others that
the rest of you
wrap it up. Here's a safe way to put it, right? If Nvidia sneezes, some companies will have pneumonia.
Y'all will have COVID 2.0.
COVID 20, right? Like it's that type of scenario in these type of markets when all indicators are pointing to all-time highs, and You look at the statistics, and everybody keeps bringing up the dot-com bubble. I don't think a crash is imminent, but I will say the valuations have gone up pretty substantially to a point where it's like, all right, we need to take a deeper look at it. But we'll see. I mean, we thought something like this could happen this year, right? When we're talking about, can earnings keep up to the valuations? It happened in 24, right? Which is why we were over 20%. It's happening here, and we're pacing toward another 20% year.
Yep.
We'll see what happens in the first quarter of 26. And that's why Wednesday is so important. When you're talking about Nvidia, you're not just talking about AI, you're talking about infrastructure, you're talking about cloud, you're talking about a lot of different sectors. What that future guidance looks like into Q1, Q2 of 2026 will be very, very important to see how this next year is going to go.
This reminds me of the first year, shot to Kyrie. He hit the shot of a Steph, right? Cool. You can only go into the game winner bag so often. So I think Nvidia will do well in earnings. But if the entire market is relying upon blockbuster earnings for one company for equal weighted S&P funds to do well, that's not good.
Have we seen this before?
Yep. 2022 .com era. We've seen this a couple times. Even the Mag 7.
Exactly. Because it feels like 4 years ago we were
used to be Apple.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. I was thinking, like, this is how we used to talk about Apple. Like, Apple fights for us, and we needed to beat earnings, and it's so dominant, and we needed to do that. And even if it's great, it's not great enough. And now people talk rotation, and it's just another Mag 7 that's now rotated into that spot, and now it's Nvidia. And even when Thiel says that he's selling out his positions, he didn't just leave the Mag 7 out. He said we're gonna park it in 2 other Mag 7s.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so it's just interesting to see. I think, like I said, I think we both are in agreement that Nvidia is going to have a great quarter, and Jensen's kind of got ahead of it, hasn't he? Right? He said, "Look,
absolutely.
we're talking about 500 billion. Like, these are not numbers to sneeze at."
Yeah, he want to say I'm not them. Salesforce.
Like, yo, don't get this confused.
Don't put me in the same category as y'all other little CRM.
Yeah, we are not the same. 500 billion is different. That's more than the market cap of I think everything outside of the top 30 companies in the world. Like, this is not the same.
We got to have an honest conversation, though. Like, there shouldn't be this much. And Nvidia's my pick, my baby. I love it. The entire U.S. economy and stock market cannot be relying upon one company to deliver blockbuster returns to move up the GDP and defeat China. It was right. Apple 4 years ago, and even that stress didn't allow Tim Cook to create what he needed to create fast enough because he had the weight of the world on his shoulders. Mistakes get made when not only are you leading HQ looking over product line, but then you have the president saying, "Hey, I really need you to hit a home run right now for me." It's too much pressure.
Can they deliver? I mean, would you rather have any other company be in this position? I feel like this is the company that if there was one that was primed to be in this position, this is it. The fact that they're doing this and they don't have China, right? Like, they don't have that market, which will be part of this. We'll see a full year of Blackwell coming up.
Yeah.
We understand the dominance. We watched all the other hyperscalers in the Mag 7's report before them, which is very strategic on their part. I looked at the numbers, bro. Everybody's CapEx did not go down. Everybody's CapEx went up, which talks about the demand, and we know where they're shopping. And so if there was going to be a company, it would be this one.
Nvidia will be fine. Meta will be fine. Microsoft will be fine. Google, dynasty of the ecosystem, Voltron, right? Build community. But the rest of the market, I'm like, even if we look at quantum, and this is not my moment to say, hey, to beat up on these stocks, ARQQ is down 43%, IONQ is down 39%, QMCD is down 40%, RGTI is down 46%. I'm looking at the rest of the market start to pull back 20 to 25% for some quality companies. That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
It's not a good sign.
And it's not just those inside of outside of the Mag 7s. If you look at Oracle, and Oracle, right? You look at the pullback there. This is now a cloud infrastructure situation with them. If you look at Dell, right? These are companies that I've spoken about in detail, and Dell will be reporting on the 25th. I'd be interested to see what their AI situation looks like in their partnership with Nvidia. They're all being affected by this. You know what I mean? But inside of that, if you look at the memory sector, if you look at the Microns, you look at the Western Digitals, those they haven't fallen at the same level as of some other sectors inside of AI, which tells you like that demand is still there. In fact, they're actually talking about a shortage. I read an article in the journal how Samsung was like, hey, we don't even have enough, right? When they said they didn't even have enough memory to sell, then you watch the American companies, the Microns of the world, the Western Digital, you saw them spike over the past couple of weeks. So it's just interesting and fascinating to be a witness to it.
I agree. And Rashad, I want to bring you into the conversation from an advisor standpoint. Like I'm hearing advisors say, go to S&P equal weighted and to now look at the S&P 50, not the 500, the 50. So that tells you that, and I hate to pick on Salesforce because once again, I love being off. I know I won't be invited to Dream World as a result, but a quality American company like Salesforce has no value in comparison to Perplexity, ChatGPT, anything that Google is doing, Apple's AI integration, Palantir, and the real in the future. It's almost like they're getting reclassified as B tier when they were A tier stock. That is not good for the American economy at all. These companies have been overvaluated. And if I can be I don't want to front run this, but if we look with inflation, how much money has been printed into the economy, and these companies being overvalued, it's being done so to prevent the recession that is inevitable. We've technically been right at break even or below since 2019.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting economic climate, but I definitely want to talk about Bitcoin though too. Before we get into the Nvidia talk in detail. Bitcoin. So interesting, $92,000 right now, and it's been dropping steadily. So just passed the death cross 2 days ago, I think. So Bitcoin is interesting if you really think about it, because it's the only investment that we actually know what's going to happen.
Tell me more.
Oh, because it has, like, if you follow history of the Bitcoin, it has 4-year cycles, right? So you can, like, as an exercise, anybody at home, you can ask ChatGPT the 4-year cycles of Bitcoin, when the next bear market will come, previous bear market. So it works in cycles. Now, anything can happen in the future, but it's always repeated the same cycle. Like no other investment has ever done that. Like you can't say, okay, we know that Nvidia is going to do good for 4 years and it's going to be flat for 2 years and it's going to spike. We know that Bitcoin works in a 4-year cycle. It drops very drastically, almost 70 to 80% previously. That's what it has done. Follows the halving. So like, even if you follow it, like the bear market is supposed to start next year. But some say the bear market has already started, which would be an early start. But it was going to start. There's a almost 100% chance that Bitcoin is going to drop drastically next year if you follow what historically has happened. So everybody knows. Well, if you study, everybody knows that Bitcoin is going to drop. Like that's kind of like a cheat code almost, if you really think about it, because we know what's going to happen. Now, the variables is exactly when it will drop, exactly how much it will drop.
I can tell you that, but we're a team. Come on.
So
maybe next week.
So now the question is like, okay, is this the start of are we already in the bear market, or is this a short-term reset and then we're going to push higher at the end of the year, and then next year it's going to fall? But it's going to fall. And I asked ChatGPT just to kind of get ChatGPT's perspective on it, and like how it's supposed to fall following traditional Bitcoins it's supposed to go to 30 or 40,000, because that's 70 to 75% drop. That's what it has done historically. But most people don't think that it'll fall that far because of institutional backing now that it didn't have before. So the institutional backing will have it around 50, 60,000. what it'll drop to. But no matter what, how you look at it, it's gonna drop. But it's already been dropping. So now everybody, it's a panic because it's down pretty heavily. And then all the Bitcoin related stocks, we'll talk about that, MicroStrategy and a few others, those are down. And then of course, since Bitcoin is down, the ETFs are down. And then whenever Bitcoin goes down, then the altcoin market goes down also. So the altcoins are down, XRP and Solana and all of that. So now the main question is, now we know that Bitcoin is going to have a bear market.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the bear market? Because if this is the bear market, then the intelligent thing to do would just be to wait. Because if this is the bear market, 90,000 is not a good price to buy because it's going to go lower than 90,000. So the only question now is, are we in a bear market? And if we are in a bear market, and bear markets for crypto usually last, that's another thing. We know how long the bear market lasts, 12 to 18 months. So it's not a short run. Once the bear market hits, we're looking at like 2027, end of 2027 for a full recover to all-time high. But another thing that we do know about Bitcoin is that it always goes up. So
history has shown us that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So we know that in 2028 and 2029 is going to be higher than what it is now. But all of these things lead to a pessimistic outlook for Bitcoin for the next foreseeable future, unless we get an end of year pump, and that could potentially change it for the short term. So are we going to get an end of year pump, or are we just got to just ride this out to 2027?
I'll answer both. Meek Mill, Rick Ross, one of my favorite songs. Don't panic. Don't panic. Now's not the time to panic. The notional value, or like true value of what we could get back to the April lows of like 77,453. Last month, I did tell you we was going to slide into these 90s. Now is not the time to panic. I understand there's a lot of people who are saying the 30 and 40,000 price range for Bitcoin. Remember last year or early this year, I said Michael Saylor needs to be very careful, because the only thing that I think would drive that price that low is if they want to get him out of that seat that he's in. I think that he has a plan to thwart that regardless, but I don't think we'll get to 30s or 40s. Should you pick up some at 77 and some change? Yes. Prices are in Stock Club. Worst case scenario, I have us going to
say it.
50?
Nah, I'll say my number,
range?
And then you agree.
50?
I'll see you with the hoop.
Yeah.
53s?
I had it at 63 to 67.
Yeah, 53, 524. Worst case scenario.
You're going lower than that.
But, and here's the thing, as an investor, I'm not saying absolutely it will go to, for those, you know what I mean? But please write this down. You want to assume the worst case basis first, not the best case. A lot of you are panicking because you bought it last week or 2 weeks ago. You should have bought the majority in April. And in addition, with the halving cycles, some want to be the preeminent force in crypto because they've seen his plan work. I kept saying, I hope that he doesn't become the new Cathie Wood. But when the institution, going back to the program conversation, when they want the strategy and the IP to use it for their own devices, they're going to find a way to do so. Also, too, if we're going to have a cyclical downturn and now we're back to risk on, maybe there will be some flushing out. But I want to be very clear. It's a mistake if you are a believer in it to get rid of it now. Too many people ask, should I sell what I have now and wait to get in, continue to buy? Now, the mistake that I think Saylor made is that he kept buying at any price. The price where you buy an asset matters a hell of a lot. Mm-hmm. But worst case scenarios, 53. But if you believe in it, we can have a nice bump. And I think at the right price, definitely at 50s and at 65, the institutional, the Saudi fund, it's too many big players that will absorb the coins at that price.
Yeah, that's why I said I was looking at the charts yesterday. I had it around 67. Yeah, I mean, if you, I'll use the phrase that history shows us rather than kind of what you were saying that we know. Because somebody was like, oh, no, history has shown us that in these cycles, specifically what Shadi was saying, it was like there's 4 phases right now. Based on everything we've seen, that we're in phase 3. And so here's some key indicators that you should find in phase 3, which is like 6 to 18 months after halving, like we saw it halving happen last April. So we're right mid cycle, sharp corrections. And I don't know if we've had a sharp one yet. It just feels like a pullback, but consolidation is that next piece. And so that means you'll start to see it move sideways, right? So if it's at 80,
it's definitely sharp. It's 30% drop.
Well, we've seen steep. I'm saying for crypto, we've seen that go down to 70%.
Well, correction is not 70%. That's a fall. That's a collapse.
Well, it's if it's in the definition of correction, it's even still consolidate.
70% is a collapse, though.
Yeah, that's not a correction. That's a collapse.
But that's what I'm saying. We can't even use collapse in terms of Bitcoin because
but that's what it does. Because the correction it's in correction mode right now.
When I'm saying correction, I don't want to confuse it when we're talking stocks, right? Because Bitcoin, the way that it moves, its volatility is very different. So that correct, it could be a 70% correction. Like it could happen. Whereas if we said that for a stock, and this stock is about to die,
70% correction is crazy.
But we've seen this happen multiple times, right? So we got consolidation, declining hype, which we'll see.
Shadi, right? I feel you though.
That's a hell of a correction.
Discouragement on social media, like these are the signs that you'll see. I think what's different about this and why I don't know if it gets down to 50 is because of the political environment that we have, the pro crypto legislation that has been coming forth, and you're starting to see the global response to it. Right now, countries are looking at how we can use this to our advantage. You're starting to see institutions, JP Morgan, obviously, they're talking about state. The environment around institutional and political is a lot different than it has been in the past. So that case doesn't, I don't see it having the harsh 70% pullback. That's why I said the 67 is kind of that range if it does. But if it's something you believe in, you stay.
The only exception is if we hit global recession end of next year.
Or political or because there's going to be midterm elections. So there could be harsh political, because this is the thing too. You got to look at it from a pessimistic standpoint. Bitcoin's going to go up over the course of time.
Absolutely.
From a pessimistic standpoint, from a short-term perspective, this is the most pro-crypto government that we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's on a 30% pullback currently. So nothing that the administration can do, nothing that the administration has done or can do is going, like Bitcoin just moves on its own accord. And institutions, that's why they get in and they get out. Now, going against all logic when it comes to investing, I think Bitcoin is an asset that you can actually, you don't necessarily have to hold it long term.
Okay, I hear. Talk to me. Because
you know what's going to happen if you follow the history of it. So like Half Man, Half Amazing, I think that's his name on Instagram. He was like on YouTube. He said, "Well, y'all said to buy it. Well, the thing is, if you buy it, if you brought it at 80,000, and then it went up to 123,000, it was a 50%. You made 50% of your money. Now, if you know that it's going to drop, you have one or two options. Just wait it out and then let it come all the way back down and even less and just hold and then just dollar cost down as you believe in it, because it's going to go back up eventually. It's going to be $200,000 eventually, right? If you want to be a little bit more risky, you can play the profit game, take the profit, wait on the sideline, wait for it to come down, buy when it's low, and then just keep doing it, because you could literally just, that's what whales do. That's what BlackRock does. Like, if you really want to be honest,
most people don't have that discipline though.
They don't have the discipline, and that's why I'm not advising people
to do that. Thank you. Hello.
But if you are going to do that, Bitcoin is the perfect asset to do that, because, like I said, there's actually a roadmap to follow to do that. I'm not telling you to do that, but if there was any asset in the world where I would do that, it would be Bitcoin. My stance,
my final thought on this: hold for 7 years. Every asset that matters. If we're in 25, hold to 32, you will be A-okay. too much panic, because even if it falls 60%, the upside, you're going to be sick missing out on 600%. True, same for stocks. Even if we hit a 2-year period where the market is flat or negative, those are 2 years when you can build an incredible base to get 5 or 6 or 7,000 shares if you play your cards right. And in 2028, 29, and 30, you will be a-okay. You can be Habibi with somebody.
What you're saying is the most responsible thing to say. And it's the correct thing for 95% of the population.
Are you talking about to the bag getters? Gotcha.
But you also understand that where you buy is extremely important and can determine a tremendous difference in your percent gain.
And if you want to know the best prices where to get in, go to ianinvest.com and join the stock club. Perfect, alley. Thank you. I saw the.
I just be mindful of saying that we know what it is going to do.
History.
Thank you.
I do.
No, but until it deviates, right? Because
but it
hasn't done it yet, but it's still a short history, right? So this isn't like the S&P, right, where we give, or the Dow, where we track this for 85 years or over 100 years. This is 15 years.
Even
16 years.
Even 100 years is a relatively short period of
That's
time.
what I'm saying. Well, we have a better data set when we talk about over 100 years as opposed to 15 years, and it's so new, and we don't know. Like you said, like the political climate, it's just a lot of factors that we don't know. Institutional is in it. We don't know who the whales are, but history has shown us that it does have a pattern that we can follow. I'll say that. Ian, you have your hand raised.
But we do know the historical patterns of the firms that have been around for 100 years.
That's true. That's true.
So I like how we talking like it's just us in Dubai. We know. So if you go look at, act as a world-class investor, do it in Claude Pro preferably. What are the historical buying levels and holding cycles for Citadel, Piper, Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, Fidelity, Invesco? That'll help give you an insight how long they'll hold, how many coins they'll pick up. Because a fund, and we're in the war games of investing, which I love. Everyone wants highest return. Now it's Bitcoin and prediction markets. Because now the economy is contracting so much that everything is an option at this point, no pun intended. So you're going to now even see at some point hedge funds ramp up the futures and options integration in addition to sports betting at some point with the prediction market cycles, because they have to get higher return. So if you know what the historical patterns and how long and seasonality and when they're going to hold, it'll give you an idea for what's going to happen. But remember, I said 3 years ago this is going to happen, and everyone called me crazy.
There was an article today that it's funny you brought options. They said that MicroStrategy is the option for Bitcoin with no expiration date.
Michael Saylor, I pray that your relationship with Jared and Trump is okay. Also, too, if you go read them emails, you can kind of see the foundation of
Release them.
I love this show live. Oh, Shotty, you cooking? And I'll see you've been studying. You call that 50 ball easy. I'll see you.
The 50 ball.
The
50 ball. Hit the like
button
and share. Please. Okay. Peter Thiel dumped all of his Nvidia position, I think over $100 million, /76% of his Tesla stake. So does he know something that the rest of us don't? Is this the exit of the year or a historic mistake in the making?
Whenever, and this goes back to the Burry point, SoftBank, when these headlines come about, there's two questions you have to ask. When did they initially invest into the equity or asset? And then two, what was the reason they're looking to get out? Now, the $1 million question everyone wants to know, my full thoughts on Peter Thiel. I'm going to talk about the stock club Saturday. But this does remind me somewhat of 2022 when Chamath, Bezos, Zuckerberg, everyone was clearing house. There's a reason why. I want to be very clear because like Nvidia is like one of my core legacy picks. The days of 100 and 200% gains on Nvidia are gone for probably the next 2 or 3 years. You're not going to get 200% year-over-year return. Are you still going to get incredibly high return? For sure. But if you don't know the reason, because Peter ran a macro fund for a while, left, took over government, read his book 0 to 1. His whole plan is in there. It's not as black and white as what he sells, so I should sell. You can argue Tesla's doing better than ever, given this year's climate and what he went through. Tesla's doing pretty strong. Nvidia is a company that's going to lead America into like this AI revolution and sustain the GDP of America for the next 5 or 6 years. So I don't think that's a signal to get out. But SoftBank selling and him selling a few others, I think they've maximized their game. And you have to know Bill and Melinda Gates taking money off the table for Microsoft. And people are preparing their war chest. This is hibernation season. Put it in chat. The rich are entering hibernation season. Most of the meat is off the bone for pause, if we need to be immature, for Nvidia if you've been in for 6 or 7 years. So if you're up 2,000 or 3,000%, it doesn't make sense to hold for another 1,000% just to be able to brag in Abu Dhabi or Dubai how we did. And I know I heard one of y'all was upset about that. You supposed to be our friend. Don't do that.
Don't do that to us.
Don't
please.
do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. I want to break that SoftBank down for a second, if I could, because when the headline broke, it was like, oh my gosh, SoftBank liquidated their position in Nvidia, which sounds like alarming on the surface, but when you pull back the layers, you realize that this is part of that circular rotation of money that we're talking about. Well, they sold their stake because they needed money to help build out their infrastructure in their deal with Oracle and OpenAI. Well, inside of that infrastructure, guess where they're going to spend their money? Back with Nvidia to get chips, right? And so it sounds alarming, but really it's just going back into that circular rotation. The Peter Thiel thing is interesting because he is a tech-heavy guy. And when you see tech-heavy guys pull out of tech companies, yeah, it does raise a flag. But like I think what you said is important. Understanding that when you take a profit, that's not like something you should be upset about. Like you're making profit, right? You don't lose by taking profit. The other part is I actually looked up when they entered the position. The first public filing for his firm was of Nvidia stake was in Q4 of last year. Now that means he could have gotten it in Q3 of last year when the average price was about 117, or it was in Q4 where the average price was 135 to 140. Either way, you're up $50 to $60 when you have over 500,000 shares. You've made profit. They've taken profit.
We've won the game. Now, I would be worried if he exited out of his Palantir position. Now, that would terrify me. He didn't do that.
Right. I mean, he has ties to that company. So, I mean, people are positioning themselves to have what I think is the most important thing in any environment, and that's having reserves. Right. Like you can't. Right. The next report will be, and you probably won't see it, is if he enters the position again at some point in the near future. Right. By the time we hear about it, it'll be a quarter or two after they've actually done it. So does it raise a flag? Yeah. Does it mean you should sell off your Nvidia position? I'm not. I still believe in it. I still think it's going to lead the U.S. economy for sure for the next 2 or 3 years, have the largest market cap. Or, even price targets have been raised to 250, 230 ahead of earnings, even though it pulled back today. So I'm watching the raise flag. I'm studying the raise flag, but I'm still staying strong in my position.
This is also just goes back to my point about Bitcoin.
Tell me more. You cooking tonight, my boy.
You like this is like all right, the average person. But okay, this is something that when we haven't mentioned here. Peter Thiel has a high level government access. He's privy to information that none of us are privy to.
He is the government. He the program. Literally.
Perhaps. His protege is the vice president of the United States. And he has a very close relationship with the administration. So he knows the economic headwinds. He knows data. He knows job reports. He knows what's coming down the tunnel 6 months, 12 months in advance. Nvidia, once again, it's like Bitcoin. Everybody thinks that Nvidia is going to go up over the course of time. I don't think anybody thinks that Nvidia is just going to fall off a cliff. It's the biggest company in the world. What, short term?
Has it hit its cap for the year? Absolutely.
You think it stays here?
It'll trace a little bit lower. I got it going at least to like one worst case scenario, like 160s, but that top of 212.19, that's the high for the year for sure.
Oh, okay. That's what I was saying. You see it not crossing 200 by the end of the year.
Yeah.
So even short term pullbacks could potentially be harmful for a portfolio that's extremely large, and you might see opportunities in something else where you can have in that short term pullback, you can have short term gain. So it's not necessarily like it's neither wrong or right as far as he might be seeing something where it's like, okay, I'm not just going to lose $50 million just for the hell of it when I could make $100 million in here in 3 days. By doing this, I'm gonna move this position, you can move back. They're moving their money around a lot. And that's the same thing with Bitcoin. Wales was doing that since the beginning. They would sell large positions, get back in, move like
preservation of capital.
Yeah, that's why I said the reserves is the most important thing.
Yeah,
because it allows you the luxury and the privilege to say, all right, I see an opportunity. I'm going to make an opportunity happen for myself. That's happened. I mean, that's happened to me a bunch of times where it's like, I'm like, do I have to sell something to create reserves? Or is something about to expire where I'm going to have reserves?
Yeah.
Like early on, I'm like, just have reserves, right? Because you don't want to sell out of something and say, oh, I'm going to miss an opportunity. Just have the reserves in the event that the opportunity presents itself. And that's whether it's Bitcoin or whether it's Nvidia or whether it's Meta, right? Like just have the reserves ready because opportunities are going to present themselves.
And then maybe one day we can have this conversation on blackout. But at some point, we have to be honest with the audience.
About
there's a stock game that's being played. That's a different game.
Tell me more.
Would you like to have the conversation on here or blackout?
Let's get canceled.
Like we was with somebody, they were saying like people moving
it's tears.
4 billion a day. That can guarantee 25% every single year, regardless of any market.
If the market down 52%,
we can't. That's not even a conversation. We could.
but okay, let's take it from the 10 million
conversation.
The 10 million to the 90 and 100 million range, right? There's this different risk to reward ratios that they're looking at, and back to your point, their returns are baked in regardless. There is no downside. There's no downside.
No downside.
There's some guys like that.
No downside.
Yeah. Travel.
Also, like when you scale up, once you get to that past that 20 million mark, you're not going through a 15% drawdown for nothing. Especially at 500 million, a billion. There are no 10%. You have to like fuck up to like what Michael Saylor's going through. That's bad pricing. He didn't have to go through that though. He don't want to play the game that you got to play to get that. So I respect it.
Let's talk about that. Michael Saylor. Is this the opportunity of a lifetime to buy something at a 52-week low? Or has he miscalculated his formula as far as what he's trying to do here and was a little bit too aggressive?
We're gonna talk about the other thing on blackout.
No. Nope.
Blackout.
Nope.
Let's get canceled. Wrap it up.
No.
Wrap it up.
No.
Hey, if the dislike gets too strong, we wrap it up. You know what I mean?
I think some things were said in confidentiality.
But these things are already known. If you know
to some people,
it's like
and left unknown for others.
It's like the Da Vinci Code.
You see what I'm saying?
There's Matrix.
Yeah. The MicroStrategy thing is one of the main reasons. The main issue I had was the buying at any price point.
Yeah, I never agree with that.
I believe in Bitcoin. I understood his strategy. I just didn't wholeheartedly agree with buying at any price point, right? Because history has shown us, right, when Bitcoin corrects, MicroStrategy overcorrects, right? And when Bitcoin rebounds, it doesn't necessarily appreciate at the same time. And so if you're buying all the time at any price point, then you're going to be in debt when it pulls down, right? And so how do you get more? You sell shares, but that cycle is just, it's a vicious cycle that I'm not sure. I mean, he's a brilliant guy. The strategy is I didn't really like that much, and now you're seeing it. So is it an opportunity? I don't think this is the bottom yet. That's my only thing. Like, I don't think this is the bottom for MicroStrategy, because I don't think it's the bottom for Bitcoin, right? I think it pulls back a little further, which means that MicroStrategy pulls back even further. But on the upside, you get in at the right time, right? And I'm sure he's going to say he has a number for it. It could be an amazing investment, right? Because for the pullback on Bitcoin, I think the return on the appreciation side for MicroStrategy is like 3 times, right? It's like a 1.5 to 3 times the rate. And so it's a hell of a return on the way up. It's just that where's the bottom?
I'll take the other side, not the argument, but the conversation. We're going to talk like this is us in Dubai, right?
Let's do it.
Yes, I hate to buy at any price point philosophy, but he watched Cathie Wood get slaughtered, picked up the strategy. There was a time when government officials was not trying to hear what Michael was saying until it was election time, and now they're trying to front run him. So if I tell you Third Ward is the place where everyone should invest, and no one listened for 3 years, and then all these institutions come into Third Ward and try and buy them before, well, I have to buy up everything in advance to secure not only my philosophy and strategy, but my company. So I think he's baking in the gains for the future. Do I think the stock is going to go down more? Yes. 123.50, I think, is where the worst case scenario where it could land. Long term, is his thesis right? Yes. But as smart as the funds are around the world, they often see trends incredibly late, but when they do, they encroach viciously. Jamie Dimon, shout out there by JP Morgan, went on a campaign worldwide saying, I hate Bitcoin. Even Charlie Munger, oh, Bitcoin's catch it and all, right. Meanwhile, you're going to see in Omaha that strategy change. And now JP Morgan is talking about tokenization at scale.
True.
You got to protect the IP at all costs. So can the stock go lower? Of course, I think it will, especially if we hit any recession or if they redefine what a recession is. But long term, I think he'll be fine if he can survive the storm.
What about the idea of competition? You just brought up JP, which is what made me think of, like, there's more competition in that space where people can have exposure to Bitcoin outside of MicroStrategy. More ETFs are coming to fold. What about the thoughts around having competition now with your depreciating assets?
Oh, it's gonna be tough. That's why my main thought is 90% of what you know, never tell.
But then also he becomes a Bitcoin lender at some point. He's has more Bitcoin than almost anybody. So strategy, Bitcoin goes up, his bottom line goes up because he holds so much Bitcoin. That's one way. But then also the power goes up because there's a limited amount of Bitcoin.
That's
so
true.
He who holds Bitcoin is kind of like a king. And I've seen this happen before. That's why I said, like, yeah, we could say history because we can't say anything for certain. But feel confident about kind of knowing what's going to happen with Bitcoin because I saw it happen 2 times already.
All right, yeah.
I saw it. I already saw this happen 2 times.
Yep.
Happen. So seeing it 2 times already happen, pretty confident that it's going to happen again. And if it happens again the way it happened the last 2 times, if he can keep the Bitcoin, because that's a problem too. If he's forced to liquidate, then he might have to, compromise his position. But if he can hold the fort and he can keep the Bitcoin, he's going to be in a very powerful position
long term.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so here's the other part of that, right? If it goes to consolidation like it does, right? How long can you sustain negative quarters before you have to make a change, right? Because if it has a consolidation phase of a year, that you got 4 negative quarters, you've been buying at the peak, right? That means your debt, those balance sheets are going to be thrown way off. How long can you sustain that before you have to start saying, hey, this strategy may not work?
It depends on, this is what client dispersion matters a lot and client selection a lot. If he has a loyal fan base and loyal investor base for a while, not that he needs my advice, but I think MicroStrategy also needs a product. And Mike is smart enough to, if he invests into other assets, he can see something that's coming that other managers may not, that will allow him to ride the storm out. But historically, once again, going to Claude, act as a world-class investor. Tell me the top 10 closed-end funds and what were the returns over a 10-year basis. This story has been done before a bunch of times. Josh Brown came on and we talked about it, and we've had our powwow about how this could end. But my main concern for Mike as an amazing investor, same as with Kathy, in order for them to reap the benefits of crypto and all of its power, you can't have an outsider run it. So he's going to have to find a way. And he's been playing ball a little bit, but not enough. Got to be careful. And this is why I always say, whatever your strategy is, keep that shit quiet. Got to keep, I know you got to raise capital, but man, every person that I remember who talked down on Michael Saylor and Kathy Wood 6 years ago are now trying to recreate their strategy.
Bank.
So but he'll be fine long term.
Yeah, long term, I like it. Short term, they got to withstand some storms.
Hibernation season.
Somebody, question from the audience. What do you guys take on XRP over Bitcoin in the drop?
I don't know if I would do that. Yeah, I would do Bitcoin first. If you're looking purely, well, it depends. If you're looking at a amount of capital that you're able to deploy, so let's say you had 100 grand, and if you're looking at percentage returns, if you just want to, it depends on how many coins you own and what your personal goal is. But broadly speaking, I wouldn't do XRP first. I would do Bitcoin first and then do XRP probably third or fourth. But it's definitely in a 4 to look at. Dark horse. Even with that, what they're supposed to do for the economy, the banks want to find a way to XRP their way into the government to solidify their future. I've never heard this much talk about stable coins and tokenization. And 3 years ago, every damn bank on earth hated these talks.
Yeah. JP's right there. They're right on it. It's 2026, it probably will happen.
Yeah.
For all that talk, since 2017. It's a hoax. It's a hoax.
Also, that's the other part, not to talk your book. Some people talk your book. The other part of the game is say, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to. And then here we go. Diversion.
Yeah. What Larry Fink say? How we added to retirement portfolios.
Crazy. Crazy.
Or maybe it is a hoax.
Perhaps.
The biggest hoax ever.
Wait.
Perhaps.
Gotcha.
Wait, what part? I can't wait till Langley decides to let everybody know who was
who created Bitcoin.
I don't know. Hal Finney. Talking about that program. I'm not bigger than that program for sure.
XRP. I don't know why people.
Rashad.
Dennis Rodman did it.
Not this week.
He said Dennis Rodman created it.
Scotty, no.
Scotty, no. I'm cool.
Combination. Langley, though.
So Langley. So why did Langley create Bitcoin?
I don't know.
Langley, as in a street that somebody lives on?
Luke Langley.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, he used to play for the Bulls.
And Hal Finney. This above
Luke
my pay
Langley is
grade.
Yo, Luke Langley is crazy.
Bar. Nope, won't get me. I'll die on some hills. This ain't one. Like that Tim Cook need to hurry up. Succession planning has sped up for Apple. I bet.
Mm-hmm.
I bet. Tim Cook, I'm sorry.
All praise it.
The hoodie. This is my man Ladoon's hoodie.
Yeah.
Covered by God is the company. I think it's coveredbygod.com.
Covered by God. Yep.
I believe.
Ladoon, you need to print some more of them.
Shout out to Doom. He hit me the other day. Yeah.
Shout out to Ladoon. Okay. Meta down 23%. Palantir down 16%. CoreWeave down 50%. So are those early signs of the AI tech bubble? And let's talk about each one individually. We can start with Meta. They dropped and then they continued to drop.
Mm-hmm.
So is Meta in trouble?
I'm going to say it again after earnings. It was a canary in a coal mine that kind of let you know what was to come. I don't understand why they're in correction. Like
that's fair. That's fair.
It's prime. I think they are calibrating so well now. I don't think they're deserving of a 20-25% drop at this moment. But I think, Rashad, back to your point, I think there's some signals in the market amongst the firms, the governments, about what's to come. And for them to deliver great earnings and have this results tells you what's to come. There's signs always. Apple having issues this year, sign, right? But I think Meta definitely in this class is incredibly strong. Hell of a turnaround from 2022. I think it's unfair, but I think it's just like general market conditions that's dragging them a hell of a lot lower.
I'm with you 100%. Meta is a buy. In fact, when I saw it drop 15%, I bought it. Now it's down 23. I might have to add some shares to the portfolio. Again, I like the aggressiveness of Zuckerberg. Their CapEx spend, they said they're increasing it. They're all in on this. They understand the severity of winning this AI race. They have the innovation. They have the data. When you're talking about all the platforms that they have at their disposal, they have products now. The glasses are doing pretty well.
Glasses are doing incredibly well.
And they're expanding. Their data center expansion and their vision for AI, all pun intended, is very clear. And it's going to cost, and their understanding of that. And the fact, I think, people took his cadence during the earnings call a little too hard and said he was a little too lackluster and a little frivolous about how he's speaking about this CapEx. But
it's a future investment. That's the part.
That's it.
If he did, okay. And I was super critical of the metaverse investment that story. But he's investing into the right things at the right price at the right time to not be left behind when Apple didn't, and they get punished.
Makes no sense.
You can argue, I won't do it this week, but this year, Zuckerberg has been better than Cook. It's no question.
Oh, the resurgence has been incredible. Right, like we're talking. I mean, it was down in the 490s. I know it pulled back, obviously, during the DeepSeek thing, but it's rebounded. It was at 750 at one point, 749, and obviously it's pulled back here. And it's part of one of those golden rules of investment for me. If an asset that I truly believe in is at a discount, if it's between 20 to 30%, and then I also see the options down 30 to 40%, it hits the check. Check. All I got to do now is execute, and Meta has done that, and it's done it again. Might have to reposition it, but yeah, strong believer in Meta.
Operating margin 45%, net margin is 32%.
Yeah, which is the opposite for a company. Like all these companies are not created equal. CoreWeave, we've been speaking about it, and I know it's one of the companies you just said, but we've been saying 6 months. 6 months, that's been our golden rule. 6 months came in September. It's been trending downwards since they reported earnings. And I like CoreWeave. I've always said I liked it. The only thing that troubled me was the debt, right? Like
That matters.
their data center expansion. It's not, they had to take on debt to expand. Now they do have Nvidia as a partner, but when you think of how they're using Nvidia, right? Like Nvidia is supplying GPUs to them, but they're not the top of the line GPUs, right? Like it's not Blackwell, it's not Blackwell Ultra, it's not Rubin. They were using the H20s, and so the Hoppers, for those who are in the know. But when you think about that, right? Like people are going to lease that compute, but they're leasing it at a lower tier model, right? So that almost becomes a depreciating asset every time the company puts out a newer version. So by the time you're using the Hopper, they've already had Blackwell. By the time you got Blackwell and you're leasing that, and then it's Rubin, and so that becomes a depreciating asset. That business model is interesting, but the debt that they're taking on to expand is concerning because they have to generate a certain amount of revenue just to offset it. And it doesn't look like they're doing that right now, which is why you saw the stock fall so greatly from, I think, 149. I think it's trading at like $70 now. And so that's my slight issue with CoreWeave. I think it'll be here, obviously, as Nvidia is has a vested stake in them. But that's my major concern with CoreWeave.
Even with that, CoreWeave having a partnership with Nvidia, CoreWeave's a mistress with a lot of debt. Just because you get to hang out once a week, it does not mean that your primary investment is over with. All y'all who kept acting like y'all were Nvidia, it's over with. Although there's some debt is good. This is a prime example of why it's not. No.
What you saying? They're over with CoreWeave?
Not saying that they're not A class.
No. I started it by saying
but it's a lot of people who were like, well, they're going to.
Yeah, you know what? Because people traded it and they did make money. So I'm not mad at those people who like, hey, I was part of the IPO when it was at 40, then it ran to great. I'm all for that.
That's dope if you're in the private market. Right. But even the people who had the private shit, they got rid of it. That's a shot. That's the other stock game.
Yeah, the sell-off. That's why I said we got to wait 6 months, because after that 6 month hold up, we're going to see people say, all right, we're taking profit. We've made money. We've had it pre-IPO. This is a nice run up. Let's take some profit off the table for events like this, where it's now trading at 70. So we'll see where it heads over the next couple of weeks. We'll see. Wednesday again will be a teller, right?
They'll bounce back eventually and get back into the 90s, 100 range. But that run up from 40 to like 170.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Overvalued.
Chat. Put in chat. Hit the like button and share. What about Palantir?
I think Palantir's issue is his valuation.
The valuation
like 17
too high, bro.
What's the number? 17 something? 1700?
It's too high. Like, great company. I don't like what they do. I'm starting to like Alex a hell of a lot as the CEO. I won't lie. I don't like the mission because of how it affects Black and brown people. But when it ran from 584 up to 207, great returns. If you made money on it, I'm incredibly happy. But I don't know. Technically, okay, if Palantir is publicly traded and they're real getting as much coverage and lore around it, it's scary if I'm a Palantir owner. For sure. Now, is there an ecosystem where both of them can thrive? And I think, of course, Alex is a Elon-esque CEO where he's driving a lot of the value through his vision, work ethic, selection and curation of executive management team, for sure. But the valuation on this company is too high. And I even think if you look at Peter Thiel and Alex, if you got them in a private conversation, they would tell you the same thing. Like the true range, they should be in the 120, 130 range. If they were there would be more room to go, but they hit their high for the year for sure.
Yeah, the forward PE is 185.
That's fucking insane, bro.
So, I mean, the revenue isn't matching that just yet. Will it? At some point, right? We're talking about the amount of government contracts that they will secure, and I'm not just talking domestically. I'm talking like global government contracting that I'm sure that they'll play a role in. Yeah, that number, that revenue has to come in at some at some point that could even match this. I think they're a victim of, hey, this thing is run too high. People are talking about an AI bubble. This is AI tech in the sense of having defense tech. Who is the poster child for high valuation? I think they're the poster child, and this is the repercussions of it. This pullback here.
After the Nvidia trade took off so well, everyone was looking for the next thing to park money into. Great company, once again, don't like the mission. But a lot of the benefit that they received was the carryover or spillage from people who have FOMO from Nvidia, who was looking for the next thing to invest in. But if we have a correction next year, I think it'd be his first test as a CEO on a global scale. And if he can do what Zuckerberg did in 2022 and figure it out, he'll be A-okay. But the valuation is just insane. It's like paying Austin Reeves $200 million a year. Austin's good, but it's not worth it.
Yo, Austin Reeves averaging 29 a game, bro.
Cooking, is he worth $200 million a year?
In this NBA, he might.
A year?
No, you said 200 million a year?
Yeah, a year.
Contract. Oh, no,
a year.
No.
Yeah, Brian Herb, get back on the court.
No. He's back. Somebody asked about Robinhood. It said, you know what? It's crazy. A year ago, almost a year to the day, we sat down in Miami at their conference, and Robinhood was trading at $38. Obviously, we saw it run up to over 155. It's pulled back a little bit here. I still like Robinhood. I told you it was one of those companies that I was like, damn, I can't believe that we didn't invest. I didn't personally invest in it, and I should have. But yeah, this is one of these environments. I think there's a cycle that happens when you start to see people pull back out of tech a little bit, and I think they have characteristics of fintech in a sense. And so there's a pullback there, but people usually rotate. Retail investors have helped this. Option trading hasn't helped this. Their new platforms and new initiatives have helped them. I still believe in Robinhood. It's almost getting to a point where, yeah, it's time for us to maybe grab a position here. So love Robinhood. Shout out to the question.
Rashad, when you were with Vlad and we did the interview, is eye test, right? How well do you think this company is going to do over the next 3 or 4 years? Because there's certain people you just don't bet against. And I think he's one of them, but I wanted your take if he's one of those entrepreneurs that you don't bet against at all costs.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely a very impressive entrepreneur, extremely smart, has a clear vision of where he wants the company to go, very forward thinking, very open to new ideas, got his ears to the streets, got a good team around him. So I think Robinhood's going to be one of these companies that's going to be here for a long time. They democratized investing, and you got crypto, adding betting and all types of stuff to their platform. So I think they're one of these companies that just keeps evolving over the course of time. But switching gears, somebody had a question in chat about $7,000 to a Roth IRA. Where should you invest? That was the question. He put it a few times. $7K to Roth IRA. Where to invest?
Shadi, I think you should take that. You don't feel like advising no more? Come on.
I feel like if you're young, I'm assuming that he probably is some 30, maybe 40. I don't know. Millennial. That's the demographic of people that watch the show for the most part. QQQ and SPY. Make it easy. Split it 50-50. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you can do 70-30 the QQQ way. But long term, I think that you got to believe in the technology companies that have built the ecosystem that we're in today. So if you believe in all of those tech companies, that's going to keep powering not only artificial intelligence but just technology in general, every area of technology, then something like a retirement plan is a perfect place to invest in the QQQ, because that gives you long-term horizon, and all of those companies are still going to be here when you retire. And if not, then they just reposition it with new companies, the new technology companies that'll take this spot. So invest with Invesco.
Original invest in AI. Invest with Invesco. You don't even have to think. If Meta takes the lead, when OpenAI becomes public, when Perplexity, right?
Yeah.
Just
And it's balanced too inside there.
hold.
The Invesco, like the QQQ is very balanced, right? Like I think the largest allocation will be like a 10%, and then you'll see like a 9.5, and so it's very balanced. Whereas as you see some other ones that are extremely top heavy, where it's like large allocation, 20%, 20%, and then everything else trickle down. QQQ is very balanced across the board with some of the Max 7 and other techs.
And I gotta say, True Tech to Index, no stress. I keep telling you.
Please.
Microsoft and Apple looking sexier than ever with all these valuations being corrected, right? Hold on.
Michael Griffin, congratulations. And yeah, send me a copy, please. DM me and I will send you my P.O. box.
Justice Culture, can you send something to his P.O. box for me, please? I'll pay the monthly fee. You can't take fruit off a man's plate and not put none back. You know what I mean? In every aspect of life.
Replace the fruit from the garden.
You gotta cover the vig, yo.
Please.
At all times.
Replace the fruits in the garden.
At all times. Somebody put a super chat about this. So Michael Burry says that big tech is using accounting tricks to juice the AI profits. Are AI giants faking the boom? And what the question in chat is how can you tell if, paraphrasing, how can you tell if a company is actually reporting fake numbers or not?
That's a great question. Short answer is some, not all. Some are going on a 4-year schedule, and some companies are electing to 6 years and 7 years. That's out of my wheelhouse. I'm not an accountant, but the 6 year and 7 years tricky. Act as a world-class investor and an analyst at Ernst & Young. That's your prompt. Which companies, and put in 10 companies that he's talking about to see, is there some bloat? Is there some accounting issues? I think it's a little bit sensational. Would I be surprised if a lower tier company is doing it? Is Nvidia doing it? No. So I really don't care about what anybody else. Now, is there a B player or a C player who has named themselves the next Nvidia or next AMD? Possibly.
We see,
now it's clear.
That would be the question at the highest level. It's tough because the microscope is so intense, right? But we've seen, and I mean, most recently, I think last year we saw Supermicro, right, when we were trying to figure out whether they're going to be delisted or not because of some of the reporting on the K1s. So does it happen? Yes.
The elite doesn't have to do it. I will be very clear about that.
Yeah.
But we haven't had an accounting scandal of that magnitude since Enron, and after Enron happened, the government came in and there's different laws and different penalties for that now.
Yeah.
So the elite one,
like Lucan Coffee.
Yeah, that was Lucan, same thing. But they
was baking the books.
But they're back now. That's a crazy story. So Lucan was baking the books in a real way. And
China been baking the books on that real estate shit too.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if you look at the recovery that they've had, they weren't traded on the NASDAQ or the S&P, anything like that. But they did get delisted, and now they're in the U.S. They're infiltrating the U.S. with stores. There was I think maybe it might have been Forbes or maybe Seeking Alpha, where they were talking about the imprint and how the competition for Starbucks has changed dramatically. Not just them, but Dutch Bros and Dunkin' Donuts.
Dutch Bros is on fire.
This is what I'm saying. Like the competition has changed. Obviously Starbucks is, at the top of the market with 15,000 locations, but people are looking at it like, hey, we don't need to have your internet service. We don't need to sit down anymore. Let's get our coffee and let's move on.
I keep saying, once they kicked us out of them locations, it's been up forever. And some things are a pair trade. If you're long Lilly, you can't be long a diabetes factory. That's what Starbucks is. Starbucks, the third home, Say Less, and fucking Soho House, they took your whole model. You have no elevated spaces, but you're selling disease in a cup masked as coffee.
Oh shoot! Somebody said they've been in Lucan for a while. They finally made profit. Yeah, that was a long journey
You
back.
have chutzpah.
That was a long journey back.
A
5
long
years.
journey back.
That's what I'm saying.
So
I don't know.
Bitcoin is currently dropping as we're doing this episode. It dropped $3,000 since we did the episode. It's almost at 89,000. It's at 90,000 now.
Okay.
So it's dropped $4,400 today. And it's dropped like $3,000 since we started this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So
y'all should listen the first time. It'll save you a lot of pain and agony, y'all. I called this price a month ago. What should they do now is a question. What's the price? Hey, listen to the first time, but what's the next level I said that we'll probably get to? It's a lot of pain in not listening. I know it may sound crazy ahead of time, but if I'm going on public airways and public record to say this, like, there's a reason why. And this isn't the last. And remember when Bitcoin used to not be paired to our stock market? Risk is back on. Going into the holiday season, you don't want to report massive ass losses to your clients while Saudi is raising, or not raising, but they're deploying capital everywhere. Our firms aren't just battling with each other. You got to battle with the fucking Saudi investment fund. How are you going to do that if the returns are high and you don't have as much capital? So now it's back, risk on. Look for the places to invest in worst case scenarios first. And if you're not buying at a great price, you're going to get chopped up. You're going to be cannon fodder. I'm sorry. We are in an investing war. It is us and our brightest companies versus China. China's model is open source. Ours is closed source. Even our open AI is closed source when it's supposed to be open.
Yeah, there was a dope video about open source versus closed, and if you really break it down and pull back the layers, our strategy has been created, figure out how to monetize it and deploy it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas China's strategy has kind of been open source, like you said. Let's figure out how to build it.
Let everybody build. Yep.
Let everybody build. Let's see what's really going to work, and then we'll figure out how to monetize it.
They're building theirs like the App Store.
We've put the let's get the capital first, and they've put the let's get the ideas, the creation first, and figure out how to get the capital on the back end.
Well, if you steal the idea, you got to get the capital fast to keep the person with the capital from killing you.
That part.
Because if that was really his idea, he wouldn't have had that answer for Brad. That was a defensive answer.
Eli Lilly, will Eli Lilly split soon?
Shot you good.
Please give us context, Ian.
That was it.
He saved me. He pulled me out the fire.
Give us context on Brad Pitt, man.
That was a question from the chat.
Is Lilly going to split? I hope not. If we're going to be very honest, investors won't say it publicly because it's not a kind thing to say, but stock splits are really for weak companies or when you have a great class of investors leaving out. I hope they don't.
For the most part. Not always, though.
Thank you for saving me out the fire again. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Because there are a few companies. Lilly is interesting. Will they split? It'll be interesting to see. Novo, we saw the announcements last week when it's in terms of healthcare, and Novo and Lilly came to the forefront of that. But Novo just said that they're now reducing their weight loss drugs to independent healthcare issuers, and so I think the price.
Talk about falling off a cliff, my lord.
Well, here's the thing. So, I'll be interested to see Lilly's reaction to that, right? Because this is the same GLP. It starts at $549, and now they dropped it to $199 for the first 3 months, and then everything after that is $349. Lilly, obviously, this is their direct competitor. Do you think they'll respond to that by lowering their prices as well before we see what happens next year when healthcare plans can now add it?
Only inferior products and inferior companies lower prices is the primary strategy. It was a mistake when Tesla did it, and I stated that because if you're going to go from luxury to economy, there's a bunch of people that are going to be disgruntled forever. I think too many products have become luxury products out of inflation-led reasons. But a great company, or like Blackwell Ultra, they don't have a superior product. Doesn't have that issue. Like if you're lowering prices as a first determining factor, there's always someone who will undercut. Like even for me,
right? I think that's they're a product of that. Not to cut you off, but I feel like they're a product because of the generic GLPs that were coming to market, right? So it's like, how do we now compete with the generic GLPs when they're selling it at such a discounted rate? Do we make our product at a lower price? Is the chain reaction now that Lilly now brings it down?
Bring it down, but undercut Novo. I think that would be a mistake.
Okay.
And we're gonna be very clear. Novo. This is Novo's main driver of revenue. It's not for Lilly. A suite of going back to open source, having a suite of products and services to offer. There's a reason why Eli Lilly is like one of the best run companies that most people, if the CEO walked by at Invest Fast saying with Dan Cathy, you wouldn't know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
They just stay focused on, and shout out to everyone who works at Lilly. Like they have a great lineup of products that, I mean, they have 2 products that billions of people like they don't need to. I don't think they need to cut, and it would be a mistake to do so.
Red Panda Stock Club, where the prices are always right.
If I made you money, please put yes in chat. I told y'all last month this was gonna happen. Called a meta price before, Bitcoin price, ETH. Told you. And I told you today what a real Bitcoin price is gonna go before we got on here.
Well, that goes back to my thing with Bitcoin. It's like that's what Red Panda is built on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dollar cost averaging, holding long term. That's the best way to go. But if you can know or have an idea
In advance,
you're gonna make tremendously more money
mm-hmm.
if you're able to buy at the right time.
Absolutely.
That's a fact.
Yep.
That's
you don't have to worry about what Peter Thiel did today or last week, or Michael Burry shuts down his fund.
And that's what Red Panda. That's what Red Panda does. Red Panda, right? It gives you prices of when to buy the stock.
Red Panda is the fund for the people. Mm-hmm. Tell you exactly what to get in, what to get out. 3 prices: a low to boat price, a swing trade price, and quick entry. And most importantly, the insights of what's happening in the world 1 to 5 months before it happens. I've been told y'all about old boy in the emails funding Bitcoin 2 years ago. You're crazy. You're a conspiracy thing, huh? Okay.
You talking about Bubba?
It's a deeper, darker criminal link.
Allegedly.
No pun intended.
Allegedly.
Mm-hmm. What do I know?
Somebody real quick while you read. Somebody asked about Ookla because they did report last week. Another one of these valuation companies, right? Does the valuation match the actual company's output?
Ookla.
Ookla.
Oh, Ookla.
Ookla. OKLO. We talked about who's going to power, who's going to get to nuclear first. They have the head start. They look like they're going to be the leader. Obviously, all these other companies. We talked about Constellation with Microsoft trying to power back nuclear. Ookla will probably be the first one to get it up and running, but it takes a lot of time, man. And I said we don't have time as a variant that we can use to our advantage. We have to get these things going now. And so you saw them pull back. Will they be gone? No, this is a company that's going to be here. But like I said, the valuation is high. We saw it happen with Palantir. Palantir will be here. Ookla will be here. Energy, and you saw it today, right? This is that cycle of pullback in tech. What happens to financials? What happens to consumer staples? What happens to energy? You saw the XLU went up today, obviously, as that pullback in tech has happened. Energy will have its day. It's going to have its day, and you can see the writings on the wall. None of this happens without it. And so that's inside that scenario as well. But yeah, put that, if it's not on your watch list, put it on your watch list.
But even my bad, go ahead.
No, I said I keep seeing people put it in the chat, so that's the rundown on that one.
Two things to learn, if I can, real quick, Rashad. All energy companies are not created the same.
Absolutely.
So same with that. The top 2 in the space invest in. Another thing you need to learn is mean reversion. Like stocks have a historical performance, and I've said this since the beginning of the show. If a non-exceptional stock goes up 3x or 4x in a year and it normally does 25%, it's going to revert back in half or probably 40%. Don't get so high on thinking you're going to get 300% return on a mid-cap stock in the middle of Kansas. It's not going to happen long term.
I'm just going to put an asterisk next to that because what you're saying is absolutely true. When you look inside the ETF, so even if you look inside of XLU, the ETF, so that is
they'll tell you. Thank you.
It'll tell you the two, but so there in energy is very interesting because it's not traditional energy in the sense of like, hey, obviously Next Era is in there, Constellation is in there, GE Vernova is not in there, right? Which is a company that will be a player. Ogla is a company that will be a player. They're not inside the ETF as of today.
Yeah.
I would assume at some point they will be. So this is like one of those asterisks where it's like, yo, look at the top 2 and you should really study those. Energy is very different because how we're consuming energy, the power grid is going to change. How much consumption we'll need is going to change, right? All those things are changing for us. And so I feel like those ETFs will change as well. So just be mindful of that.
And be mindful of the power of the lobbying power in energy and who they're invested in. Once again, go to ChatGPT. It'll tell you. Now, this is in 1999 or 2003. You have every resource tool. Like, of course, you don't have Bloomberg level access, but Claude and GPT are like Bloomberg adjacent, Y chart adjacent, for sure.
Perplexity. They actually did a study on the top GPTs for financial research.
The top of the Perplexity.
DeepSeek was like number 2.
ChatGPT
was it rated the lowest, which was interesting.
Sam,
just for financial advice.
Yes.
Yeah. Like they had it pick 10 different like equities to invest in over a 12-month period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my questions for Ray Daniels in ChatGPT though.
About Perplexity, we need the deepest.
How you portfolio construction? How you make this work, my boy?
When we talk about investing long term, 7 years. Let's talk about 7 years.
14 years combined commitment experience.
The portfolio is well tested. That's the definition of stay low, keep firing.
For sure. Had no clue. I texted my boy like, what? Boy, what? All right, y'all can send your friends, cousins, grandmas into the chat. I'm gonna cash up soon. So
it's that moment in the programming.
What do you think about the Epstein files?
I think they're gonna get released.
Well, they're definitely gonna get released, but what version? What version?
I'm glitching. I know.
What version is gonna get released?
I'm not sure at this point, right? He's finally and when I say he, the president is now saying, hey, release the files. They probably have been put together in a way that doesn't incriminate him, I'm assuming, if he's ready to tell people to let's let him see what's happening.
Well, he had no choice. Republicans had a mutiny.
Can we talk about that on Blackout? That's almost over with. Y'all better put out another world coin.
MTG. MTG.
All right. Cash Apps is going crazy. Any questions from the audience? Any questions from the audience?
Rashad, how you know 50 though? Not cent, but 50 for Bitcoin. I know at certain times a year, you get up early, you get back in your editing, and you be on GPT crazy.
I got a plan. Sometimes in life, you gotta just
adjust, right? Inspiration everywhere.
You gotta.
All right, so we got to talk about Wednesday before we go. We got to talk about Wednesday.
It's almost time to go. Wow.
Yeah, we got some time.
This went by fast.
So, I mean, this is the Super Bowl. This is every quarter. The
Oh,
Nvidia,
for sure.
this is the Super Bowl. So Wednesday, I mean, we'll be watching. The entire market will be watching. Are we witnessing a dangerous single stock dependence, or is Nvidia still the AI king that can carry the entire market on its back?
I think they can carry, but it's starting to get some exhaustion there. We can't continue as an economy and as a stock market. We can't continue to rely upon one company and not even sector rotate, but single stock rotate all dependence of gains and calmness upon one stock. It used to be Apple, now it's Nvidia. It may be OpenAI in the future, but we can't keep relying upon one or two. Even the creation of the Mag 7, great strategy, but it's overweighted. It's overweighted. It's almost made, if you're not in the Mag 7, that you have no value.
Yeah, remember when it was FANG,
Mm-hmm.
and then we had to go to Mag 7. Here's what's at stake, and this is why Nvidia is pretty impressive. It's the Nvidia, the company, is the largest contributor. This is some statistics to the S&P 500's earnings growth.
Mm-hmm.
It's the largest contributor to the Nasdaq's returns year to date. It's a bigger driver of index performance than any single stock in the last 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
It is responsible for a massive share of global semiconductor capex, and it's the backbone of corporate AI spending forecasts for this year and next year.
And without it, we'll be in a recession.
The question will be Wednesday, because I think we're all in agreement here that I think they're going to report great numbers. I think they're going to have great future guidance. But again, when the market is fixed to perfection may not be good enough. Here's what happens if it does do that. On the positive side, semis will grow.
Yep.
Cloud sector will grow. AI infrastructure will grow. The S&P itself, right, because of how weighted it is inside the index, will grow. And we're going to see that fear and greed index shift. We'll see the VIX come down based on this report if it goes well. If it doesn't, if perfect isn't good enough, there's going to be some pain.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some pain. And so all those factors that I just said, TEMIs, clouds, AI infrastructure, the S&P, all of those, if Nvidia doesn't perform well and doesn't have, if it trades sideways, great. If it ticks down into the 170s, we could be in for some pain.
Either way, like when I used to act up in like Kmart back in the day, and my dad be like, yo, when you get home, you're gonna get it. Even if they do great Wednesday, next quarter after this, ass whooping time for the market. Ass whooping time.
Go to ass.
For sure. I ain't forgot. That'd be the word. Go to sleep, fake sleep. Get up. For what?
They've been on a run. I mean, they've performed quarter after quarter. I feel like they've carried the market for sure. How long can this run continue? We talked about a year ago when they had a 230% growth inside their data center business. Now that's gone down to 80, I think 79 last quarter. So it's still a great return. It's just not as great as it once was. And I mean, you're talking about a $5 trillion company. So those numbers will come down based on just the market cap of the company. But a lot's at stake. A lot's at stake.
Yeah, the years of 100, 200, 300% growth are done. And I think for most big companies, the highs for the year have been hit.
Somebody said is investing in Bitcoin ETF a good alternative so you avoid the volatility, but you get the same volatility with investing with the ETF than you do investing in Bitcoin because it tracks Bitcoin. So you're not really getting less volatility from investing with an ETF than you would with a traditional Bitcoin. The government is now open. What do you think will happen when jobs report and other numbers are released?
With Bitcoin?
No. It's just, that's a separate question.
Yeah, we missed the CPI. We missed All that. We missed the jobs report.
153,000 job cuts in October, 175% increase from a year ago, and from what I have been looking at the last 6 or 7 days, those numbers are underreported. Is the true number probably is a 220% change from last year. Abysmal.
You want to talk about the stocks of the future that you posted on your post on Instagram?
Let's do it next week for the Big Bang. And I'm gonna really do this one though. The quantum stocks y'all want? Not going. Sorry, I changed my mind. Gave you fire tonight, right? And Cash App. Sorry. Habibi. Nope.
Habibi.
Thoughts on Exxon?
I mean, all
reliable. Exxon, Chevron.
I love all the old Rockefeller companies that they broke up but still exist in the Rockefeller Foundation. Rockefeller, y'all. Exxon would be good.
Somebody said TSP or IRA. If they're contributing to your TSP, then that's always going to be beneficial. So if they're matching, if your company's going to match, then that's going to be helpful.
Yeah.
You think the Fed will cut rates? I'm assuming they're going to.
You know what? There was a 95% chance early in the month that there was going to be a rate cut in December. That has now dwindled down to like 60%.
Told you. They be pushing. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I guess when we start seeing some of these numbers come back, like you said, the jobs report, CPI, I know we talk about tech a lot, but this is a big retail week as well, right? So you got Lowe's reporting, TJ Maxx, Target, Walmart. Those are all reporting this week. And so when we talk about consumer spending, when we talk about CPI, these things matter when the Fed looks at, all right, what is the state of the economy? Are rate cuts necessary? Yeah, so we'll see, man.
Target CEO, I know you take over soon. You better go apologize to every black and brown person you see on the face of the
First
earth
order of business.
Before y'all go out of business.
First order of business.
While Walmart has a new CEO, talk about a tale of two retail companies. They're getting close to their 2018 lows if they keep it to space. Whew. Tough.
Yeah, Palo Alto is reporting as well. And I know it's a company we talked about inside the cyber security space. They were reporting on Wednesday after close as well.
What's the third best investment you ever made?
Third?
That's a great question.
Damn.
Like in the stock market?
It just said third best investment.
I mean, investing into the partnership. That doesn't get talked, like the creation of Voltron doesn't get talked enough about as a hedge in our community. Every other community does incredibly well, except us. The more of us that do well is an impenetrable moat.
We got to get to it.
It's not like Buffett and Munger lifetime partnership that matters. That's a part of the reason why they were able to have the success. Greg has to find his lifetime partner at Berkshire to make sure that keeps going. So yeah, partnership matters.
Is gold going to correct next year?
That's a great question. Could if we go risk on, but looking at like the current levels where gold is, could it correct from the highs of this year? It's possible. And like 36.82 worst case scenarios what gold could go to. But is gold still a great investment long term? Yes. And here's the truth. All the assets are so tightly wound together with the exception of the bond market. If one thing goes down, everything's going to go down. That's the only downside of hyper concentration. If you don't get in at the right time, everything's going to be drugged down. There's no separation in market anymore. It's like in the NBA, like everyone plays the same way, same step back, same Euro step move, same combo, right? Everyone's investing the same thing. So there's no divergence in strategy. anymore. Also, too, if you're a great investor and trader, while everyone's pro Bitcoin, pro Nvidia, find the next 100 bagger. Now's the time to do the research on that. My heart wants me to tell y'all what I think it is, but my mind and my mom tells me to keep it to myself.
Yes.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we definitely have seen the Netflix split. Yes, it split today.
Yes.
Yes, we with Netflix is in the portfolio. We've spoken about Netflix. We spoke about it last week prior to the split on its future guidance in terms of what it has to offer. I know it just lost the fight with Javante and Jake Paul. I think he's rescheduling it with Anthony Joshua now. That'll be on Netflix. So they still get a heavyweight bout. Obviously, the fourth quarter is when their big shows will be coming back. They're already gearing up for Stranger Things. Like, it's a whole rollout that they have. Definitely big on Netflix. But we'll see. Like Ian said, sometimes splits don't always work out in the favor of the company that split, and they have just now done the 10-1. And so if you had one share, you now have 10.
Yeah.
Right. If you had 20, you got 40 now. Even in options world, if you had one contract, now you got 10. If you had two contracts, now you got 20. And so just be mindful of that. But yeah, definitely long term on Netflix. Still believe in it. Still is the leader. Even with Disney now, Disney's about to cross 200 million on the streaming platform with Hulu and ESPN combined. Netflix is still the leader. Is pretty much the only one that has figured out how to make this thing profitable.
Who the CEO of Disney?
Bob Iger, man.
Man, it's time to wrap it up, my boy.
No.
Yeah.
We can't do that to Bob. Bob is that.
It's been 4 negative years.
No. I'm just saying he came back to intern, like on an intern basis. But we just never really figured out what the succession plan was. Remember, we had this discussion like, yes, Bob was great for the company. What's the succession? When he left, there wasn't one. Then he had to come back, and he's trying to help the company. I think they're going to figure out this ESPN thing.
ESPN is shambles too.
Now that they're charging for it individually, but yeah, I still don't know what the succession plan is. Who will be next as the head of Disney? We don't know.
How much Bob getting paid per year?
Let's see.
Sell off into the sunset, my brother.
Just call it a quick.
Go over there with Bezos and with the new startup he's working on.
Person said, if you have $4 million,
oh,
it's a retirement question. $4 million, and they plan on retiring for the next 30, 40 years. Me personally, 40, 10, 20, 30, I think 40% in SPY, 10% in Bitcoin, 20% in QQQ, and 30% in two stocks, the two tech stocks, Nvidia and Microsoft.
2 tech, 2 index, equally weighted, 25% each.
I got 4 million. Congrats.
For real. Hello.
Yeah, congrats.
Hello.
It's me. Hello.
All right, y'all. It's been real.
Cash apps have been sent. I appreciate y'all. Tune in. Same Market Mondays time. Same Market Mondays channel next week, and we'll do it again.
We got to do it. Got to do it.
Yeah. Rashad.
We got
cooking. 50 ball.
The 50 ball play.
This was a interesting question. I'd be interested to hear both of y'all take. Out of these 5 companies, you get to choose 2 as your best buy.
Gotcha.
CoreWeave, Meta, Iron, United Health, ARM. What you got?
Meta and Meta.
Only Meta.
Only Meta.
Damn.
United Healthcare. I would only buy if it touched that low or broke that low again, and that would probably be for a 25% run. Going into potential storms, you can only invest into the ones that are guaranteed to hit a shot for you. I don't think Iran's that. United isn't that. Oscar, I know some of y'all kill me online for that. Oscar Health is up 5% for the year. It's a bond. I like what Jared doing. I do the same thing for my dad-in-law was in office, right? It's up 5% for the year, down 26% for the month.
You're choosing one.
Meta.
Yeah, Meta. You can't go wrong. Meta.
We got to choose 2 though.
What's the other ones?
CoreWeave, Meta, Iron, United Health, and ARM.
Sometime 1 equal 2. One super baddie is like 3.
But that's
it
it's
applies
almost
here.
This isn't equally weighted, right? Like that's a Mag 7. The other ones aren't. If I had to choose one that's not Meta, there's something going on at United Health. I just keep seeing it come up. Not saying that that's the one I'm choosing, but I just keep the noise around it of it having a return to some sort of steadiness is getting louder.
It has highest probability. They need another executive though. This isn't my theme for the year, but it just played out this way.
Yeah, if I'm taking Meta obviously, and then I would take ARM. I still think the AI rate, the AI space is not done yet. So I would take those two.
If Zuckerberg was CEO of Apple, you think Apple would have had a better year this year, last 2 years?
Yes. And it's had a pretty decent year.
Yeah.
It didn't start off great. It's kind of like Amazon is like, it didn't have a great, and then boom, earnings happened. Oh, Amazon, Google, same thing. Like we're starting to see, these 20% returns now for the year for some of these companies.
And not that you need another operations person, but I have no clue why they haven't given Sheryl Sandberg $300 million just to come write some shit over there. You're not buying Perplexity. You're not buying Comet. You're not. So,
are you going to buy Snap?
No.
Shout out to everybody that was tuning into that.
Kalshi, can y'all put up the prediction market for when Tim Cook gonna leave so I can buy?
The noise is getting louder.
Contracts?
The noise is getting louder. The noise is getting louder around that. As early as next year. That is the latest update.
What's next? 26. It'd be end of next year. Allegedly.
Next week we got something big announcement next week.
Be here early.
Next Monday, Market Monday's big announcement.
7:55.
Make sure you tune in to Blackout and earn your leisure this week. It's a lot going on, man. Stay tuned.
Yeah, man. We'll be back Wednesday, obviously with Blackout. Thursday, earn your leisure class on Thursday, EYLU. Ian, we got Stock Club this week.
Yeah, Stock Club Saturday. Prices will be out for Stock Club this Wednesday at 9 p.m. Central.
Yeah, man. We appreciate y'all wholeheartedly.
EYL options class Thursday, and also a big day tomorrow. Shout out to all our Latinx supporters out there. You Deserve to Be Rich, New York Times best-selling book. The Spanish version will be released tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Obvio.
So yeah, the Spanish version of You Deserve to Be Rich will be out tomorrow.
Go support that.
Sure.
I see the play.
Go support that. Everyone deserves it, right?
For sure.
EYL.
Mamacita, amorcita.
I did it in Spanish for you.
Yeah, mucho
Yo,
dinero.
man, it's been real. I always say this, but I want to remind people, please reach out to your people. You never know with one phone call, one text, just to let somebody know that you're thinking about it, what it can do. I'm going to continue to encourage people to do that because it's very important. Spread love, show love, give love. Sometimes it comes back, but that's not what we're here for. Love is love. Be good to each other. Ian, final word.
You deserve to be rich, and if you don't listen the first time to me, you deserve to be broke. I mean that. As the YNs will say, on God, on phone him grave. I told you, listen to the first time. Because we ain't doing this all 20. Yo, the markets, what do you think of Warren Buffett? He passed. And no, but when 27 come, we're wrapping it up.
Oh, God.
Nope. Gonna be right in Japan, China, somewhere. Them other, the outer wall is up. Play for over. Tabiti, call me. I need Habibi them $500 million. I ain't playing this recession.
Shout out to BD. Shout out to BD and Brady. Congratulations.
Wrap it up. Cool.
Congratulations, y'all. All right, man. We'll catch you. Peace.
The Bronx, You Deserve to Be Rich play.
Thank you, man. We're on the way.